This story is beyond disappointing. So, on the night that Bernie Sanders won New Hampshire, Elizabeth Warren comes out and gives a speech. It's defiant. It's a speech that says, I'm not leaving. I'm staying in this race. Now, you could say, okay, that's fine. It is what it is. Go right ahead and do that. However, listen, she has no viable path to the election. She was depending on New Hampshire and Iowa to give her a springboard effect into the upcoming states. She didn't get that springboard effect, and now she's going to states that are, have giant populations of people of color, and she's struggling massively with people of color. What are you doing? What are you doing? There's no path for you. It's getting sad. So, but okay, she wants to stay in, fine, by all means stay in. On the night that Bernie Sanders won New Hampshire, she gives a speech, I wish I was kidding about this, congratulating Klobuchar. And what does she say? Well, I'll let you guess before I say it. She leans into, yet again, this is a new strategy from her, and anybody who doesn't see it is trying not to see it. She leans into, Amy Klobuchar proves that women can do it. Ever since all the former Hillary staffers and Kamala staffers came into her campaign, she has made a decision to lean into Bernie criticism and stress the fact that she's female and do the whole girl power thing over and over. So that's one of the things she said. Congratulated Amy, spoke about how a woman can win. And then she takes a shot at Bernie supporters and says, at a time that's incredibly crucial, we have the supporters of some people cursing at the supporters of other people and calling them names. And that's not okay. And we can't have people trying to win this election who think that they and only they have all the answers. Those are all clear shots at Bernie Sanders, except they're underhanded. They're clear yet underhanded. So I was watching that, many other people were watching that, and we were massively disappointed. We're looking at this, we're like, okay, listen. And you get the sense that Bernie almost wanted to give her a pass when she did the whole, planned out thing where she accuses him of being a secret sexist, and it massively backfired in her face. And she plummeted in the polls after that. But Bernie's a nice guy, and Bernie likes Elizabeth Warren. It seems like he wanted to give her another chance. And now what's she doing? She's like, no, I didn't deserve that second chance. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go after you yet again. I'm going to go after your supporters yet again. So, that was on the night in New Hampshire. The day after, a story leaks that the bosses of the Culinary Union, Culinary 226 in Nevada, they are telling the workers, they're trying to scare the workers away from supporting Bernie Sanders. What they're doing is they're telling the actual workers, these are the union bosses, they're telling the workers, did you know that Bernie's Medicare for All bill will take away your health care? Did you know that? All these hard-earned benefits that you worked for, and Bernie wants to just come in and take those benefits away? Probably not a good idea to caucus for him. Apparently, this union has ties to Harry Reid, and Harry Reid has been making moves trying to get them to steer support away from Bernie Sanders, because, of course, among workers, Bernie Sanders has tremendous support. So, that news broke, and guess what happened? In response to a ridiculous story where union bosses are trying to steer their workers away from the correct policy, which gives everybody health care. It doesn't take away benefits. It doesn't take away your health care. It gives everybody health care and it makes it free at the point of service. It's rank fear-mongering from corporate union bosses. So Bernie supporters on Twitter fire back. And they're like, no, this is wrong. This is not true. Medicare for All is the right policy. That's obvious. Anybody who's trying to tell you otherwise, they're a hack. They're a corporate hack. They're trying to scare you away from the correct candidate. Well, guess what? Then the Culinary Union bosses release a statement. Release a statement? What is that? Oh, we're going to release a statement. And what does the statement say? Oh my God, we're under attack by the mean swarm of, Bernie supporters. And basically they're trying to say we're being cyberbullied. This is a primary election. You're allowed to go out there and trash a candidate with bogus information, fear-mongering about Medicare for All, and you think the supporters of that candidate, you're not allowed to respond. See, this is what I mean. All the arguments against Bernie are so sleazy and underhanded and disingenuous. They can't just come out and say, we disagree with Bernie on policy, and here's why. Because if they do that, it's obvious that they're wrong and Bernie's right. So what do? All these underhanded, sleazy tricks. Oh my God, the Bernie bros, and they're so mean, and I can't believe they were tweeting poop emojis at us, and I'm being cyberbullied. I'm under attack. So that's the correct response from Bernie supporters. They're like, what are you doing? You're misleading your workers. So what happens? After all that unfolds, Elizabeth Warren releases a tweet and says the following. No one should attack Culinary Union 226 and its members for fighting hard for themselves and their families. Like them, I want to see every American get high quality and affordable health care, and I'm committed to working with them to achieve that goal. You've been pretending all along you support Medicare for all. Now you're saying you agree with, you say the unions, really it's the union bosses, and they're against Medicare for all. And they want to try to keep the system as it exists right now. So which is it? Do you support Medicare for all, or do you not support Medicare for all? And again, you said you support high quality, quote, affordable healthcare. Whoa. We ain't talking about affordable. We're talking about free at the point of service. Yes, it saves money. Yes, it cuts costs over a 10-year period, $5.1 trillion to be exact, according to the University of Massachusetts Amherst. But it's not affordable. It's free at the point of service. You're not saying free at the point of service. You're saying affordable. What are you doing? We know what you're doing. We see you. She's doing an underhanded shot at Bernie, pretending to align with the union. I got news for Elizabeth Warren. And by the way, Amy Klobuchar released a similar statement and Pete released a similar statement. You're not siding with union workers. You're siding with union bosses against Medicare for all. We see you. You know those great union healthcare benefits that they get? Bernie's position is everybody should have those benefits. Everybody should have all of those benefits. Who would you deny those benefits to? Who would you deny them to? Please, I want you to tell those people to their faces. So if you happen to not be in the union, but you live down the street from where the union is, sorry, you're asked out. Maybe I'll get you an affordable option, but free at the point of service like every other developed country? No, can't help you on that. You see what they're doing, man? Underhanded, sleazy, attacks on the candidate who's leading, who wants to get everybody health care. And pretending like Bernie and his people are against the union. We're not against the union. We're for the union workers. You're for the union bosses. And they're corrupt, fear-mongering, and misleading about Medicare for all. I don't want to hear anything ever again from anybody saying Elizabeth Warren supports Medicare for all. She simply doesn't. When she first started talking about healthcare, she did an interview with Cenk Uygur at the beginning of the race, and what did she say? Every Democrat is basically in agreement on healthcare. We're all the same. We all want to get to the same place. No, you don't. An individual mandate system is not the same thing as a public option. A public option is not the same thing as Medicare for all. So when you try to conflate all the plans and obfuscate, what does that tell me? It tells me healthcare is not your thing. Healthcare is not a thing that you're committed to. Because you would be inflexible and you'd say, no, Medicare for all, that's it. That's what I support. But you don't do that. And then you released a plan that says, oh, we'll do it in two parts. First, we'll do the public option, and 3 years later, we'll come back and do health and do Medicare for all. What are you talking about? Guys, Elizabeth Warren has made some sort of a deal with Amy Klobuchar. That's clear. That's why she's been complimenting her when she does well, aligning with her in the debates, now continuing to take underhanded shots at Bernie and his supporters. She made a deal with Amy Klobuchar. I think the deal is, hey, if you win, I'll be your VP. If I win, you'll be my VP. And what does that tell you about Elizabeth Warren? The fact that she's making a deal with Amy Klobuchar, that's like if Bernie Sanders made a deal with John Delaney. All of us would be like, whoa, hold on. So I guess you don't believe in the things you talk about because that guy nominally disagrees with you on almost everything. Why would you do that? He doesn't agree with you. But Elizabeth Warren can do it, and we're all supposed to pretend like, oh, no, it's cool. She still believes all those left-wing ideas. Anybody who thought, oh, she's just Bernie Sanders, but younger and female, that is completely inaccurate at this point. siding with union bosses against union workers, gaslighting, pretending Medicare for all is a problem. And again, the thing I can't take is like, if you're gonna attack Bernie and his supporters, just say it. Just say it. Don't give me this nonsense about like, no one should attack them and their members, acting like Bernie supporters are attacking the union. No, they're attacking the crazy idea that they shouldn't have Medicare for all. They're attacking the fear-mongering and the gaslighting. Final point, the union leader who released that letter saying, oh, we're being attacked. Oh, that leader also happens to be part of Neera Tanden's the Center for American Progress, the corporate wing of the Democratic Party that will stop at nothing to stop Bernie Sanders. Sleazy, underhanded attacks. And then they get mad when people decide, I'm going to tweet some snake emojis at her. You want to know why they do that? Because she's acting like a snake. Oh yeah, Bernie, totally, I support you, we agree, absolutely, he's my friend. Anyway, did I mention that he's a secret sexist behind closed doors and that's why you should support me and not him? Did I mention that? Did I mention that his supporters are, irredeemable and they're attacking union employees, and I side with the union against the meanie Bernie supporters? Totally misstating and strawmanning what Bernie supporters are doing. Listen, I'm going to make this crystal clear for everybody out there. If you're a union worker, I stand with you. I want everybody to have health care in this country and everybody to have all the benefits you have, and I want you to have those same benefits and pay less and have it free at the point of service. I side with union workers. I do not side with the bosses. Elizabeth Warren and Amy Klobuchar and Mayor Pete have made their position crystal clear. To take down Bernie Sanders, they'll smear him and pretend like he's against the union when really he's in favor of the unions and they're in favor of the union bosses. Final point is, there's a list of who's been endorsed by various unions. One of these accounts that follows the ins and outs of politics tweeted it last night. So, Polling USA, the number of unions endorsing each Democratic candidate. You ready for this? Elizabeth Warren has 4 unions that have endorsed her. Wow, okay, 4. I guess that's pretty solid. Joe Biden has 9. Wow. Bernie Sanders, 29 unions have endorsed him. Now, I don't know how many unions there are in total in the country. I don't know how many of them plan to stay neutral. I don't know how many of them plan to endorse Trump. A lot of them, are sympathetic towards Trump, particularly because of the protectionism that he did and tariffs when it comes to the U.S. steel industry, because of NAFTA 2.0. Some unions endorsed NAFTA 2.0 because they don't like the old NAFTA. I would argue the new NAFTA is pretty bad as well, but they're saying, hey, that's better than the old NAFTA. So who knows about the rest of it, but that's why they're going after him like this, and that's why they're going after his supporters like this, because he's winning. So, Elizabeth Warren, yet again, you let us down. And I'm at the point now where, I hate to say this, but I mean it, I don't even want you in the administration. Before, I had thought, oh, Bernie's going to pick Warren for VP. Then she clearly stabs him in the back with the nonsense story about how he's a secret sexist. Then I said, okay, definitely not VP, but you know what? I could take her as Treasury Secretary. I'll take that. Now, I don't even want you in the administration. Why? Because what the hell do you believe? What do you believe? See, I thought to some extent you were in politics because you actually believed in stuff. And, you had your life's work, which you were fighting for. Regulation of Wall Street, for example, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. The fact that you're willing to throw Bernie, your closest ideological ally, under the bus to align with Klobuchar for a pipe dream of winning, which is already gone, there's no core there. It's embarrassing. And it's sad. And I wouldn't be able to look myself in the mirror at night if I was Elizabeth Warren at this point. So congratulations on blowing all the credit that you had with the left. Now it's totally gone. Politics has broken her, and all of those Hillary advisors and Kamala advisors have completely steered her in the wrong direction. Guys, there was like a week period where Elizabeth Warren was leading this race. You want to know why? At that time, she was saying, yes, I'm exactly like Bernie Sanders. I'm just younger and female. Guess what? In a Democratic primary, all things being equal, if somebody really has the exact same politics as Bernie, but they're younger and female, the younger female version is going to win. they're going to win because there are plenty of people in the Democratic Party who really value identity politics, in a way that's near and dear to them. So if you're actually equal to Bernie on policy and you're younger and female, that's going to win. But what happened? She collapsed from that top spot. Why? She backed off of Medicare for all. She accused the most progressive senator of our lifetimes of being a secret sexist. And now she's further digging her political grave by taking more underhanded potshots at his supporters. It's one of the most depressing things in this election by far.